heard about Aduro, your friend told you about Aduro, that they're gonna solve the plastic waste, but when you see online, like every company in the world say and they claim that they can solve the plastic problem. So how do you make a difference between which technology is the best? So this is what we're gonna do in this video, and don't get fooled by chemists telling investors that they can solve any problem in the world. So hope you enjoy it. Because Aduro is gonna release their pilot plant very soon and they're gonna get some data, the first thing that I see in the press release that is important for us as investor, and this is how we're gonna know and evaluate the chemical recycling technology that they have, is said here. They would confirm mass and energy, yield, accountability, and life cycle analysis. So maybe you're an investor and you don't even know what are in these terms saying, and you're an investor. Like, I think if you follow Aduro and you invest and you believe in their story, you should have an idea or what these terms means. So if we go in a nutshell, we look only at the chemical recycling technology because it's already much better than the mechanical recycling. And chemical recycling is just the idea of breaking down plastics into original form. So in my view, there's two types of chemical recycling. I call them plastic-to-feedstock recyclers, and I call them the specialty recycler. And the biggest difference is because the plastic-to-feedstock recycler, their feedstocks are much different. They can make way more plastic types and way more mix together, and they make oil with this, or syngas for another type. But they make oil. You need to remember, they make oil, and compared to specialty, they take one type of polymer and they make back one type of resin or monomer. So it's not oil that they make, and the scope of the plastic to feedstock is way bigger and the way more potential. So I'm gonna continue comparing these two, but remember that you need to compare apple to apple, not orange to orange, and there's way more potential in plastics to feedstocks because you can make more plastics with this, or you can make more fuel, or you can make just more chemical. That's what they're doing. Instead of specialty recycler, you just take one, can only make the same type of plastics. So just to have an overview, we know pyrolysis has been there for a long time. Their technology is different than incineration, that they do a high heat and oxygen-free environment. Think about Plastic Energy, Brightmark, Cantafuel. Yes, their technology have been there for a long time and they already have commercial plants, but are they economical? Well, we don't know because they don't show any numbers. But just need to know, place yourself in the competitive landscape, which people are. There's also gasification, which is way worse than pyrolysis just because it's super high heat. So I'm just gonna put it there, but we're not gonna go deep in this one. But just it exists, so we cover like 90% of all the industry. Then there's another type of technology which is called hydrothermal liquefaction. Is kind of better than already pyrolysis, but they use a high pressure water inside with high heat. Think about Mura and Misila. So I believe Aduro are competing. Well, I think Mura and Misila are already better competitor, but we're gonna see later on if their specs make sense. And there's Aduro, which is, you see, is way different. That's why Aduro is unique. They're alone in their category. This permits them to have better specs, better data, and that's why Aduro is unique. And the technology is unique. They use water and catalysts, and you're gonna see why later, why this make more unique. They have the data is much different, the advantage also. But that's the landscape. And if you just have an idea which the specialty recycler are, this technology will be more like PureCycle, which they don't make oil, they make a resin, and the resin is only they don't sell oil, they sell resin, so it's different, different in the supply chain, and their main product is polypropylene. So and Aduro can take way more. So you see, there's a disconnection. This one is an orange, and Aduro is an apple. And there's also other technology, and there's a lot of different. Uh, if you want to go deeper, there's like different technology inside this subgroup. But the main thing to remember is they focus on one type of plastics. I know Agilex is also pyrolysis, but they only do one plastics because I think it's a different kind of well, they just figure out their edge, and their edge is to have polystyrene. So that's if you have a choice in investing in plastic to feedstock or the specialty recycler. I want to go the plastic to feedstock, and Aduro is pretty much the only one that is public, and they have also a lot of specs that they already share. So we're gonna go into it. So because you know that now, we just have to look at the products that they're gonna produce for the plastic to feedstock recycler. I categorize them. You need to know uh, the product they make, the oil they make. Does it saturated? Saturated is means like if the oil is stable from the process. It only means if their products needs further pre-processing. I mean further processing, because it needs to be saturated to go back to refinery. And because pyrolysis is unsaturated, they need another kind of hydrogen plant. So they need more steps to to make it more valuable for the refiner. And same thing for the other technology, which is already better than the pyrolysis, but it's kind of in between. It's not perfect, and for Aduro is already saturated. So because the product is saturated with hydrogen, you need you save on money, and the product is already good to make back into naphtha, cracker, into refiner. So this is one main advantage again for Aduro. If you want to compare only specialty recycler, they don't check if it's saturated or not. They check if it's pure, because you want to know if the product they make is gonna be comparable to virgin grade, and if you can use it in food contact, like in other like a real food packaging, not just to make a garbage can, right? So that's why PureCycle, they compare and they show the result based on the purity. Oh, we have 99%. Same thing for lube, 99. Well, doesn't mean anything. Just mean yes, it's good. You can sell it. You can reuse it, but is it economical? Well, that's why this series is for, to know. That's why we're going to compare everything. So just from, like, I was asking myself, what if PureCycle said then purity and Aduro said another different thing? So that's why it's not apple to orange. Let's compare apple to apple. Next, I just want to have a quick look at the customer profile. Because they don't sell the same thing, they're gonna have a different customer profile. And I don't want to go too deep, but like every partner that they have and customer, they're not the same weight. Because Aduro, I know Aduro said they want to have more customer along the value chain. They don't want to sell. They want to sell to everybody, but like I believe like the main customer they're gonna have. Yes, they're gonna buy from waste management company and sorting thing, but they're gonna sell it principally to refiner. These people are where the big money gonna come, and I think these are credible partners that they see the data, even if all the data is not shown publicly. They is kind of a form of a validation that they believe it makes sense, and so these are very credible partner compared to if you go to like a brand and packaging. Let's say Aduro have a partner with Pepsi or L'Oreal. Like, for me, it doesn't mean nothing. They don't know anything about chemistry, and they just say, yeah, we're gonna buy your products once you make it, but they don't know if it make good or not. They just kind of say kind of a greenwashing thing, I believe. So remember, this is all my opinion. There's no financial advice, and my opinion can change over time. That's why I make this kind of video. So I think the key takeaway here is like the best partner for Aduro, the more credible is the one who's higher in the value chain, the big oil refiner. That's why I see that they have a big one like Total and Shell, even though Shell and Total and also Dow, they're all industry subject matter expert. They have a other pyrolysis kind of thing, but like that's kind of a validation you're going to see even if you don't have the data. Think about also PureCycle is going to be higher in the value chain, like converter, because they sell resin, they don't sell oil. And the depolymerization, they're going to sell it to other people to make polymer, but it's again just one type of polymer. So just think about when they make partnerships, where is it in the value in the supply chains, in which one are more credible? Because you're going to see other example that the partnership are not credible and doesn't mean nothing. So thank you. In the part 2, we're going to see more data that we can compare apple to apple, and I hope you like it. Please share, give me your comments in the video, and subscribe for more Aduro and chemical recycling industry video. Thank you.